that the aides and nurses on 3 Maria like you. They speak highly of you.
Oh, they do?
Yes, yes. I think you must be one of their favorites.
That's
You
nice.
must be very kind to them.
I was, I think.
Beautiful. What
I try to be kind to everybody.
I know.
I don't do much talking. I'm a listener.
Today I have the privilege of listening to you.
Oh, I know it.
Now, I know this one fact about you, that you were born in Grand Rapids. Can you tell me your journey from Grand Rapids to the Adrian Dominican Sisters?
See, I was just a youngster, and then we moved to Detroit. And then after that, we weren't in Detroit very long. We came to Royal Oak, and we lived there for 70-some years.
For 70-some years?
In the same house.
Oh, my. And did you go to the shrine for school?
I went there for Mass. I didn't ever go there to school, because they didn't have a school right away. So I went to St. Mary's from grade 1 to grade 12. And then I went back there, and I taught there for 4 years.
Oh,
that was my last mission.
Well, if from grade 1 to 12, who was your favorite teacher?
My first grade teacher was Sister Patricia Downs. Well, there are quite a few in high school, but especially Sister Ann Gertrude. I can't think of her last name, but I think it starts with an N. I don't know. But she was very nice. And she died very young. She was only about 40 years old. She was a girl from Cleveland.
Did you ask Ann Gertrude to help you enter, or be your sponsor?
Yeah, she was my sponsor. I like Sister Edwina Clare. She was nice. And there were a lot of nice high school nuns. Sister Germaine, she taught us gym. And I can't think of all of them, but Bernadine Marie was the superior. I didn't take any classes from her.
How old were you when you entered the convent?
I was 19, but I was 20. I came in January, and my birthday was in February, and I was 20.
And why did you wait till you were 20?
Because I wanted to stay in the world for a little bit and see what it was like. I never had a boyfriend, so I didn't care for a boyfriend.
Well, tell me about your parents, if you will.
My parents?
Your mom and dad. Where did they come from?
My mother, her name was Olivia, but she called herself my dad's name was Charles.
And what did they name you when you were born?
Eunice Lucille.
Were you the one and only child, or were there siblings?
Oh, no, I had a sister Vivian, and a sister Arlene, and a brother Charles.
And what did Eunice and her brothers and sisters, how did they play when they were young?
Well, see, after I left, my brother was only 9, so I didn't get to know him very well. And I didn't know, because, see, I went to the convent, and that's how old they were when I left. My sister was 14, and she felt so bad. She really wanted me to stay home with her. But then when I became a nun, I lived with her. She just died July the 2nd.
Oh.
And she was in a nursing home, too. But she didn't think I should go to the convent. But then afterwards, she was glad.
Well, she was probably happy that you lived with her for some years. You were very lucky to be able to do that. What did your father do? What was his business or profession?
My dad was a tailor. He had his own place of business.
In Royal Oak?
Excellent tailor.
Mm-hmm.
He specialized in women's clothes. He loves to make fur coats. He was very good. Everybody liked my dad. He had a store called the House of Fashions.
Was the store in Royal Oak or Detroit?
Royal Oak.
It was his very own store.
Oh, yes.
Did you ever work there?
Mm-mm.
Did you become a seamstress at all?
No, but my oldest sister worked with her, and she was a good seamstress. No, I could sew, but it didn't take to it.
Tell me, if you will, your life as a teacher.
Well, I taught in a lot of schools, and I got along with everybody. The children all seemed to like me. And I taught first grade mostly. I had third, and I had fourth and fifth. But first was my specialty. And I liked all the schools I taught in Philadelphia. I taught St. Alphonsus in Dearborn. And then I was in, where else? Chicago, St. Philip Neri, and St. Nicholas. Those two places. I was only there 4 years. And then I came to Defiance, Ohio. And then after that, I came to Detroit and spent the rest of my days there. I was at 10 different schools.
I bet you were an expert in phonics.
In phonics? Yep. I helped make charts. I was in the summer with Sister, what's her name? Amanda and Romaine. She worked with us, and we made a lot of posters. I think it was the supervisor that decided I should teach first grade.
I think I heard somewhere where you gave a lecture one time
What time?
on phonics, and your first grade teacher was there.
Yeah, I was the first grade teacher, and I liked being a first grade teacher.
But your sister, Patricia, was in the audience when you were talking.
You mean my first grade teacher? Well, that's when I gave that demonstration. And she was there. And so she was so surprised. She was happy to think that one of her pupils was able to give a demonstration. The children did a good job.
Was it a demonstration about teaching?
It was on phonics. It was on a Saturday afternoon. I know that. Let's see. I must have been there in the early 60s. See, it was a brand new school. And Father wanted 14 nuns. He didn't get 14 nuns, but he got 12. But the convent wasn't ready, so we had to live down with the Little Sisters of the Poor for a couple of months. And there we were all in one big room, sleeping on cots.
What parish was this?
So we were glad to get back in the convent. It was a nice convent.
I didn't quite hear where that was, Sister.
Detroit.
Detroit. Presentation or
What?
What parish?
Our Lady Gate of Heaven.
Oh, wonderful. Didn't you spend some time with Sister Bernadine Marie?
Well, I lived with her at St. Mary's.
How long were you at St. Mary's?
But she didn't teach me in school. But she taught my brother. And I have to tell you something. Sister was a math teacher, and she was explaining something. And my brother raised his hand, and he said, "No, that's not his sister. This is how it was." He was right. He was so proud of himself.
Do you have any stories about first graders
He was a nice kid. He's dead, too. He died in the dentist chair. And he's only 76 years old. He's been gone, I think it's 12 years now. Was that a shock? A shock to his wife. She's still living, but she's having a lot of trouble. And he had 4 children.
any of your first graders? Do you have any stories that you would tell around the convent table?
One of the boys became a priest. I can't think of his name right now. No, I don't know of any special children. I mean, they all seem to be the same. I don't have anybody in particular.
Did you ever go on any trips in the summertime?
For my Silver Jubilee, I went to Quebec to the Mother's Shrine there. And then, for my golden, I went to Germany with a group of people. And I got to see my patron saints, too.
You got to see who?
Charles Borromeo. His tomb was there in Milan, Italy. And, well, I was in Florida a couple of times. My sister had a place. And then she'd go down there, and I'd go with her for 2 times. That's all traveling I ever did.
Your family is German. That your name is
That's
German.
a German name.
Mm-hmm.
I think my dad's parents were born there. My dad wasn't.
How did you get the name Charles Christine?
I asked for it. See, we could have choice.
Did it mean what meaning did it have for you?
I had other choices, but I didn't want them. This was the first choice, and I wanted it because it was my mom and dad's name.
I bet they were honored by that.
They were real happy that they were chosen.
Tell me this, if you will. What is your happiest memory of convent living?
At Gate of Heaven, I was there 10 years. And Sister Pauline Marie Freeman was the first superior. Well, then she finished her 6 years. I can't remember. I think Joe Treese was first. Yeah. And somebody else followed. Yeah.
I understand that this coming February 14th, you will reach the royal age of
99.
99, yes. Has anyone in your family ever been able to say they were 99?
No, my mother died at 89. My dad was 80. My sister Vivian was only 65. And my brother was 73. Arlene was 92, and I'm still alive.
Well, you have lived through a lot of wars. What was the First World War going on when you were born?
It was ended.
It was ending.
It ended in 1917.
Do you remember
I don't know much about the war.
Tell me this, because you are such what I have heard, you were such a marvelous first grade teacher. One of our women by the name of Marilyn is re-entering, and she's right now working with grade school children in Joliet with the port and needy children. She's a school psychologist. What advice might you have for her?
I don't know. I couldn't say. I don't know what to say.
Nothing at this. Words of wisdom.
To do what you're supposed to do and to do it to your best ability, I think.
Sister Charles Christine, what was your reaction to Vatican II and the changes?
I couldn't accept them at first. And I stayed in the habit because I loved it and I want to die with it on. I mean, I can accept them, but they came awful fast.
Were you comfortable with...
Even in the church.
Yes.
And the masses are changed too.
That's what I was going to ask you. You're comfortable with the changes in the liturgy even?
To a certain extent, yes.
Like me, do you miss the Latin?
I still like the old faith, the Latin Mass. And
yeah. Our cemetery, when we die, we just have that flat piece of concrete with our name on it and the years. If we had one that was high up and we could put any words on there that we would like, what words would you want to put on yours?
Well, I almost made a mistake. When they asked us what kind of a funeral we wanted, well, I didn't know. I think I said a grass. And my prayer was with Fran Novity or whatever it is. She said, I don't think you want that kind. So she was real nice about it. So when she came to see me, she wrote down the regular mass and I signed my name so I know I'll be buried the right way. I didn't know what it meant, a green grass. No
Are there-
company, no relatives, no way. She knew that. She said, I couldn't figure out you did that. I said, well, I didn't understand what it was. I can't help it if I can't understand those things.
If we were able to put some words on there, that
Not yet. I haven't done anything yet on that.
do you have a favorite prayer?
Well, not especially. I say a lot of prayers, but I don't have a special one. I like to bless the Hail Mary. Everybody does. But I don't think I have anything special. I say a lot of prayers, a lot of little individual prayers that I've been saying for years, because I have a book, All Day with God, and boy, the pages are beginning to... I've used it so long.
If you couldn't read your prayers any longer, would there be any prayers that you would be saying by heart?
Not really.
Hmm. Other than the Hail Mary,
I
probably.
look for Hail Mary.
Hmm.
I say a prayer to the little St. Teresa, little flower. I say quite a lot of prayers. St. Joseph. Padre Pio.
Oh, Padre Pio, that's beautiful. Well, who was the Mother General when you entered?
Mother Gerald.
And your first mission was?
St. Nicholas in Chicago.
Chicago.
The superior was really something, the one in St. Nicholas. The nuns didn't get along with her at all. I was only there a year because Mother Gerald asked me all kinds of questions. What was going on in the convent? Well, Sister was a very unusual person. I can't think of her name. I think it was Leon Trees. She'd be out late at night and don't know where she was or anything. And then when she'd come home, she'd ring the silence bell. Well, by that time, we were all asleep. She was a different person. I don't know.
Was she the principal also?
Yeah. But other than that, everybody else was real good. Sister James Margaret was very nice. She was a superior at
Precious Blood.
St. Philip Neri. And then she was in charge of Precious Blood in Detroit. I was there for the summer with her. She was a good nun. I liked her. My very best friend was Sister Loretta Ann Walsh.
Sister Loretta Ann.
She'd bring me to all the meetings or take me where we had to go. I really missed her. But then she came here. She was only here 2 years. She had cancer. She went awful fast. I liked Ellen Joanne, too. She was a nice... She went with me when we went to Canada. She went, her sister, and my sister. We went to St. Andy Beaupre.
Well, that's the end of our conversation, unless there's a story that you want to make sure everybody knows about you.
That I've been a nun for a long time, and I'm very glad I entered the Dominican order because, well, I didn't know any other kind of nuns anyway, so...